What's up, fight fans? And I'm back at it with another edition of Round One Sports Talk. Let's go over the fight last night with Usyk and what do you think? The controversials, body shot. We'll get into that, and what's been going on in the news of boxing and why Floyd Mayweather has been throwing some jabs at the current champion at the 122-pound division, Naoya Inoue. All that and more. Please join me. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already to the channel. And like always, let's get right into the video. So, Alexander Usyk and Dubois just settled their difference. And then I had to admit that Dubois looked a lot better than what I thought he was going to look like. Dubois is a big guy, but he's not very fluent in boxing yet. But he did look pretty good. Now, the body shot. Let's get right into it. What do you think about the body shot? And do you think that Dubois knocked out Usyk? I think Dubois knocked Usyk out. I'm going to keep it 100. Because at the start of a lot of fights, you ever notice that the referee says right here at the belt line is good? And he puts his hands down and he goes right here is good. And he lets the fighters know where it is. You know, that belt line shot, that was a knockout, but it also exposed Usyk for what many fight fans thought to be true. When Joshua surprised him to the body, you know, he just didn't follow up the onslaught, and neither did this guy here. So, look, Dubois, you know, I always question his chin, and I also question his durability. There's been points in the fight where he looked timid to me. He looked like he didn't want to be in the fight anymore. You know, so I questioned that coming in with his chin, you know, his durability. So, but he did look good, I have to admit. And look, you know, whether we all believe it or not, did he knock him out? I'll tell you who won that fight last night and who's going to go down in history on paper of winning that fight. And that's going to be Usyk. Now, I got to admit, that, you know, Tyson Fury right now is having this big spectacle of a fight with Francis Ngannou. We all know about it. But I don't believe, this is my own opinion, and I don't believe that the heavyweight champion of the world should be putting on exhibitions like this active as the current heavyweight champion of the world. You should be doing things like this when you retire. That's when you should be putting on those kind of fights, not when you're currently active. Look, as of an active athlete in a sport, you only have so much time. You know, there's a window of being on the top of your sport for only so many years, unless your name's Tom Brady or something, right? But Floyd had a pretty lengthy boxing career, but he retired, like unceremoniously retired one time, and, you know, he retired a few times and came back to the sport, so he needed to take time off, you know, so it goes to show that you only have so much time. Tyson Fury is putting on a fight where that I feel like he should have been fighting out of Usyk last night. You know what I mean? So, look, how you feel about that, what you think. I understand that fighters like Conor McGregor and, you know, there's been other fighters that has made the transition, like a Jake Paul and stuff, and they've brought eyes and fans to the sport of boxing. And I do see it that way too. But there comes a point in time where that you have to understand when and where to do things. And I just don't think that that was the right time for Tyson Fury. So on to other things. Look, lately in news, Mayweather is always in the boxing news, and someone's always saying something about Floyd Mayweather. But sometimes Floyd Mayweather is doing things that sometimes I have to pay attention to, right? Because when I remember he announced, you know, Gervonta Tank Davis as being the next great thing, and he had his hand around him, I knew then that that guy was special. Because if Floyd Mayweather is coming out publicly and saying that you're it, well then damn it, you're it. So There have been a lot of times that I've criticized Floyd Mayweather for saying things about, even just recently, to Naoya inoue. He's accused him of steroid testing. He wishes he comes to America to be randomly tested. And these are all ploys and things because I feel that Floyd Mayweather is a real smart man. And he knows that even though the great Terrence Crawford, our American current champion right now, he has done a lot, but he's not going to pass Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather knows that. But I don't think that Floyd Mayweather cares if Terrence Crawford passes him. Stay with me on this. I think he's cool with Floyd letting it be an American fighter. If it's an American fighter, then Floyd's cool with it, right? But he just doesn't want all these other guys that we're competing against to have those kind of records. And if it's going to be anyone to beat Floyd, I think he wants it to be an American fighter. Okay? He doesn't want it to be this 5'5" Japanese guy coming in and cleaning house. He wants it to be an American. This is why. Okay. Currently, Naoya inoue became a world champion in his 6th professional fight. And we've talked about that. But if you don't know this, he's not the one that holds the record. The record is held by Vasyl Lomachenko. He did it in 4 fights. Okay? But neither of those men are American fighters. Okay? Now, just recently, Floyd Mayweather contacted the 126-pound champion of the world, Leigh Wood, and offered him a fight. Not only did he offer him a fight, he said he would put up the money for both sides. Now, this would be the most money Leigh Wood has ever made in any of his fights. To fight who? This 17-year-old kid by the name of Camille Moulton. Camille Moulton has not had his first professional fight yet. He wants his first fight to be against a world champion. And Mayweather is backing Camille Moulton. So I looked a little bit up on this kid. He's an 18-time national amateur champion. He looks really good. But that's, they're only showing so much of him. But I can tell you one thing for sure. If Floyd Mayweather is backing a 17-year-old kid and he's saying he'll put up all the money against a current 126-pound champion of the world, it's because this kid he's probably the real deal. Okay? And he will be the first American champion to ever start his career off as a champion. And he feels he has the potential to go undefeated his entire career. So he would blow away the Japanese kid's record at 6 fights, and he would also take out Vasyl Lomachenko, which, in fact, if you didn't know this, they gave Lomachenko a fight on his 2nd professional world fight. They gave him an opportunity at a world title. He just didn't win the fight. So they were already trying to make him a world champion in his 2nd professional fight. So there was already people that were trying to pull this off. Mayweather is trying to get this kid to get his first fight, a world title fight. And he's putting up all the money. So sometimes I always question sometimes why fighters say things. But when Floyd Mayweather is coming out and he's doing things and he's taking jabs at certain fighters, it's for a reason. It's because Naoya inoue can pass him in a lot of ways that Terrence Crawford will not be able to catch him. The 50-0, the divisions, 5 divisions or better, okay? And that's what separated Mayweather from a lot of fighters. And the fact that he was undefeated. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, the Japanese kid, I think Mayweather sees that at least in his division, or east to the equator or south to the equator, there's no one that's going to stop him at 126. There's no one. So what also he's doing is trying to entice him with a fight with not only just a fighter, but one of the best fighters we have right now with Gervonta Tank Davis. And that's also one of Mayweather's affiliates, associates, or former fighter, right? And that has enough skill and power to also derail the Japanese fighter. So he's enticing him with a fight, which is very feasible. That fight is very doable for Naoya Inoue to meet um, Tank Davis. He could even meet him at a catch weight. There's a lot of ways he can fight him, but that fight is possible. It's more feasible than a fight than Gervonta Tank Davis against Terrence Crawford. No, that wouldn't happen, right? He's too short, right? So, but the Gervonta Davis. So that's what I see Mayweather doing. Mayweather has had Inoue's name in his mouth under multiple storylines on YouTube and multiple different ways. And I was questioning, why is Mayweather giving this kid so much attention? And it's because he's starting to pay attention. See, the cat is out of the bag already with Naoya Inoue. What got him a lot of his fights, I believe this, was his appearance. There were a lot of times where they showed the fighter his picture and they were like, oh, hell yeah, I'll fight that guy. Look at him. Look, he looks frail. His face looks narrow. He looks like a boy band, like he's gonna come out with 5 other guys and start laying down a track. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't look like a killer. But the cat is out of the bag and the world knows exactly who he is and what he has to offer. So now they're going to prepare in ways and they have a lot of footage and film to study off of him. See, the people that weren't paying attention to him, a lot of them, I think, underestimated him. And it gave him a lot of opportunities. And once he got his foot in the door, he didn't let off the gas. He just kept going. And he kept proving to the world that he was exactly who he said he was, a monster. And a monster he is. Just like when I said when he beat Stephen Kubo Fulton that they would have to give him his flowers because you guys were all ready to say that Fulton was going to slay the monster and that he was a monster slayer. And I said I didn't have no problem giving Fulton his flowers if he beat him. But if Naoya Inoue won that fight, then a monster he is. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, look, I know that Floyd doesn't poke his nose into any fighter's business. That I know for sure. And I also know that if Floyd Mayweather is giving you the nod, it's for a reason. You got to be special. The only fighters that Floyd Mayweather publicly came out and gave nods to, and when he put his hands around the fighter and he goes, yes, this is the next great thing, he did that to who? Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. He did it to Terrence Crawford. Look at the fighters that he publicly came out and said, yeah, you're damn right. This guy right here, yes, he's good. And one way or another came out and spoke about him. You know what I'm saying? Floyd's not a stupid man. He knows talent. He has a great eye for it. And he's saying Camille Moulton can fight his first fight, a world championship fight. Well, then you better believe that kid is capable of doing it. Now, can he pull it off? That stands to be seen. And is Lee Wood taking this serious? And is he going to, it's for the most money he ever made, which is enticing. But is he going to be the first guy to give this kid a shot and then lose to this kid and have his name as the one that did it? There's a lot of variables in this, but are you a world champion and you say that a 17-year-old kid, you're threatened by a 17-year-old kid? You know what I'm saying? That kind of also comes into question too. So this, you gotta pay attention sometime to what Floyd he be into and why he's saying what he's saying about some fighters. It's not like Floyd to take a shot at a world champion such as decorated as Naoya Inoue, but Floyd's on some competitive shit. He don't give a fuck. He's like, listen, if Floyd is really on that shit where he's been trying to tell these young fighters, look, I don't care if you pass my record. I don't care if you beat me in money. But just let it be an American fighter. If he's really on some shit of supporting, I could see his competitive nature, right? But if he's on some straight hate shit, you know what I'm saying? I would like to believe that he's really doing this strategically because he wants it to be American fighters to have these kind of records. Now, listen, there is an individual that stands to like, look, Jermell Charlo, if he pulls this off against Canelo Alvarez, legitimately, he can walk around with his chest poked out like this, right? Claiming the right to be the greatest fighter to ever lived. Better than Muhammad Ali. He's going to have the right to say that. Is he better than Muhammad Ali? Is he better than Floyd? No, but if he pulls this off against Charlo Twin, right, and becomes the first fighter in history to simultaneously hold 8 belts at the exact same time, who can dispute him, right? That would be the equivalent of Tom Brady being in the room with the greatest football players with all 7 rings on, going like this. Yes, thank you, guys, thank you. And fucking Eli Manning walks in through the door like this. Hey, Tom, how you doing? He doesn't have 7 rings. He's not the greatest quarterback. He doesn't have all the numbers. But you know what he does have? 2 Super Bowl rings. And not just any 2 Super Bowl rings. 2 Super Bowl rings that he beat the GOAT. The guy that's sitting there right there with those 7 rings on, guess what? Against me, you ain't never beat me. But I beat you not once, but twice. Those 2 little stupid rings carry weight because of who he is. You see what I'm saying? If the Charlo Twin pulls, I mean, he can start, and look, we can all legitimately look at him and be like, bro, you're not the best fighter in the world. You're not, you're good. You're a good fighter. You're a great fighter, in fact. But you're not the elite best fighter in the world. But if you put this kind of accolade against him to his name, although, Floyd's going to love the fact that, yes, he's going to go down as an American if he could pull this off as that kind of champion. And we will have our name to that. Okay? But, he's like an Eli Manning against the greats. He's going to walk to Ali's table. Yo, I need some, clean the plates around here. Real cocky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, but you're not the best fighter in the world. But who can dispute it? Right? See? So, like, look, Eli's not the best quarterback in the world, but he can walk around the GOAT. He can walk around the GOAT looking at it from the outside like this, baby. What's up? What's good? Yo, he's still the GOAT, right? But come on, man. Do you see what I'm saying, though? So some of these guys stand to be in a real good position. Jermell Charlo, I don't know if he's really like thought of all the ins and outs. You focus on that after the fight, my man. Don't put more pressure on yourself. Don't even find out. Don't even want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because when you pull it off, then we can talk about and attach all these other titles to what he just did. You know what I'm saying? But look, that's a remarkable thing. But yes, that's why I question sometimes some of the things that come out of Floyd Mayweather's mouth. He is who he is. And I don't know where you categorize him, where you place him. But I do know one thing: he's in the conversation. He's in the conversation. So if a man like that is in the conversation, he's obviously a legend. So can we at least agree to that? Okay? So, and he currently has one of the biggest legendary records that Naoya Inoue stands to break. And it won't be an American fighter. It'll be a Japanese fighter. And I really believe that Mayweather's on some shit where he's trying to tell these young guys, look, I don't care if you break my records, but as long as it's an American fighter. And if he's on that kind of shit, I can see his competitive nature. And for him, as competitive as he is, as an athlete and a competitor at Mayweather, I believe he's thinking this way. But I would love to hear it out of his mouth. Like him actually, yeah, damn right we competing. Like, yeah, nah, we coming from them records and we're going to stay on top. You know, and if he came out and says it, then it would make me feel a different way too. And I would look at him differently. You know what I'm saying? And it wouldn't be like, you know, because sometimes you question it. You saying this because you just hating on somebody because he just ain't a brother or something? Is that what you're doing? Like, and I don't like to see him like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I would rather view him more as a competitor. You know, which he was. He was a fierce. Those were the Bradys, the Jordans. He was the Mayweather of boxing. You know, those kind of men. They ate, slept their craft. Tom Brady's drank, ate, slept, shit football. Same thing with Michael. Same thing with Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of men is what I'm talking about. Never mind his character. And I'm not questioning that, whether you liked it or disliked it. Not that. I'm just talking him as the boxer that he was. You know, he was great at it. So, look, that's all I have for you today in this video. I hope you like it. Please like, subscribe to the videos, and I'm on to the next one. Peace.